Welcome, riders, ridettes, and pillions. If you followed my channel for a little bit, then you know that I am not a dirt bike rider. So it may surprise you to hear that when I first got interested in motorcycles back in 2014, what I wanted to do was get a KLR 650 and ride it to the end of the world. Other plans got in the way of that. I got bit by the Supersport bug, and I got bit by the Bonneville bug. But now that I've been out here in the West for the last couple months, where the awesome, twisty paved mountain roads that I love so much are littered with entrances to unpaved back roads just waiting to be explored on the right motorcycle, that's really gotten me inspired to try to make that original off-road riding dream a reality. To that end, today we're going to take this Honda CRF250L to Blue Mountain, Montana and put some dirt miles under my belt. So if you've been following my channel recently, you may have seen I did a couple videos riding a Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is very much a 50-50 on-road, off-road motorcycle. And I did some on-road and off-road riding, but I am not an experienced off-road rider. That was pretty much my first time riding anything resembling a dual sport. So what I'm doing today is I've borrowed this Honda CRF250L, it's a 2014, and I'm taking it to an off-road vehicle area, the Blue Mountain Recreation Area here in Missoula, Montana. And I'm just gonna ride it on some dirt roads, maybe even some dirt trails, we'll see, and just try to get some of those dirt miles under my belt. What I really need is some formal training from somebody who knows what they're doing. But today I'm just gonna try and get a little bit more comfortable with the techniques of riding on dirt and see if I can get used to how a motorcycle like this behaves when you're riding it on a loose surface. It's real pretty out here. So from the 20 minutes of research I did last night, it seems like one of the biggest differences between the technique of riding on dirt and riding on pavement is how you manage your weight as you steer the bike around. Rather than leaning to the inside of a curve like you do on the pavement to keep your center of gravity low, on dirt you want your weight to be positioned directly above the motorcycle to keep weight on the tires. Alright, it's starting to get bumpy up here too, which means I need to start standing up on the pegs a lot more. That's one of the other fundamental dirt riding techniques, is you're always using your legs to absorb some of the bumps in the road and kind of let the bike do its own thing and bounce around as it needs to. I'm enjoying the motor on this bike. As you may know, it's derived from the same single-cylinder 250 that was in the CBR 250R. And while it is retuned, I'm finding it to be a little bit revier than, oh my goodness, finding it to be a little bit revier than the typical thumper. It definitely has a lot of torque kind of in the middle of the rev range rather than down at the bottom. trailers. But I think we're actually going to go that way. Come on, go into first. Oh, I know you want to do it. Come on. And it's closed. Okay. I was going to go up to the summit of Blue Mountain, but I guess this is as high as we go. Alright, I'm going to head back the way I came. Oh! God. Alright, I just stopped here at this overlook of sorts for a little break, and I figure we might as well talk about this motorcycle. This is a 2014 Honda CRF250L. I'm not really going to do a review of this motorcycle or like an everything else you should know video, but I will talk a little bit about this specific example. So this is wearing a Pirelli MT21 Rallycross on the rear, and a, what the heck is this brand? IRC TR8 on the front. And both of these are considered a 90-10 tire, 90% dirt, 10% street. And riding them on the street, they're really not very good for it. You can, as soon as you start to tilt the bike when taking a turn, you can feel it shift from one row of knobs to the next, and it's really unsettling. You have absolutely no confidence in curves, or at least I don't. But they seem to be tackling all the dirt and rocks out here just fine. Moving up here, these handlebars, I don't know if this is the stock bar, but these are definitely not the stock risers. The guy who owns this is pretty darn tall, so I think he wanted these handlebars to be a little bit higher. He's probably looking at me like, what the hell are you wearing, dog? The next mod here is the big fuel tank from this brand that I am not even going to try to pronounce. You know it, you've seen these before. It's funny, once you replace the stock tank with this, the fuel gauge, the electronic fuel gauge, just reads full all the time because the sensor is gone. But your real fuel gauge is to just look at the tank and see how much gas is in it because it's translucent. So I think that's kind of neat. If I owned one of these, I would absolutely put this on here. I think stock, the range is like 100 miles or so, maybe a little over 100. Now it's probably closer to 200. The clock is also stuck reading 1 o'clock. I don't really know what's going on there. I'll see, that person's in a jean jacket. Alright, maybe I don't look that weird. Down below this, we got a nice big skid plate that I don't think is the stock one. Then right here we have this custom rip in the seat. Then we've got some saddlebag bars and some saddle bags, these roll top dry bags from Wolfman. I think, so right here there's 2 license plates, like 2 Montana license plates bolted behind this saddlebag bracket. I wonder if he did that as a heat shield or something from the muffler here. So that's about all the customization that I can tell has been done on this bike. Let's go find some more dirt to ride. Getting back on the motorcycle, I am reminded to talk about the seat height. I believe it's 34 inches according to Honda, which as dual sports go is relatively low. I would say like 35 is probably the average seat height for this category, with some examples like the XR650 and some of the KTMs. Those seat heights can be like 37, 38, and I'm not a tall person. I'm 5'9" with a 30-inch inseam. So for me, a dual sport motorcycle having a slightly lower seat makes it more appealing to me. Other dual sports that appeal to me ergonomically are the Yamaha XT250 and TW200. And the hardcore dirt riders will say, oh, you need the height, otherwise you're going to give up ground clearance and stuff. I have no plans on trying to tackle like super rough trails or anything, rolling over roots and logs and big rocks and stuff. But I don't know, when I picture the off-road sort of dreams that I have, riding the Dalton Highway to Dead Horse, or doing the Alpine Loop in the San Juan Mountains, none of those are things that actually demand a high level of technical dirt riding skill. So yeah, the dual sport that best suits my needs and my body is probably not going to be the most capable off-roader. And I'm okay with that. Alright, so I think I am going to try a little bit of a trail. If I find I'm getting out of my depth, I'll just turn back. Oh, I think this is going to be too much for me. Oh, God. Whew. Me. Yeah. This is too much for me. Okay. Yep, that was too much for me. I'm getting out of here. Glad I tried it though. I watched some videos before coming here of people riding that specific trail, and people can go seriously fast on that thing. Yeah, if I had gone much further on that trail, I would have become somebody's problem. Plus, I've got a big trip planned for my Speed Twin that starts next week. The last thing I need to be doing today is breaking my collarbone because I fell off a trail that I had no business being on. Whenever I do inevitably get a dual sport or adventure bike or scrambler or something, the first thing I'll do with it is take it to some easy trails and do kind of the same thing I did today. Just ride and get some practice, build up my comfort. Comfort turns into confidence. Who knows, maybe someday I'll come back to the Blue Mountain OHV trails and laugh at how scared I was way back in 2021 when I tried riding that trail on a CRF250L. I consider myself to be an outdoorsy person, and I would love for that to have some overlap with my love of motorcycles. Plus, so many of these locales that I have found myself falling in love with over the last year, Colorado, Montana, even northern Arizona, they're all places where there's a lot of great paved roads through the mountains, and then branching off from them are even more interesting dirt roads. I'd be doing myself a disservice by staying limited to the pavement. Well, anyways, if you've enjoyed today's video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see what happens when I do eventually branch out into the dirt a bit more with a motorcycle of my own, then make sure you subscribe to the Van Blam YouTube channel. Until then, you ride safe, and I'll see you back here for the next video. Thanks for watching. Surprise! Video's not over yet. I wanted to do a little bit more riding after Blue Mountain, so I came here to Miller Creek Road. If you guys made it this far into the video and found me here, well, you're the real Van Fam. I just wasn't ready to be done riding the CRF yet today, so I found myself another nice flat dirt road to follow into the mountains. And what's been really cool is that the further I go, the rougher and more challenging it gets. So I think I'm just gonna proceed until I'm either not comfortable anymore, or until I get tired, or until it opens back up into a normal road. But I'm having a good time out here. If you want to know what sort of dirt riding I find the most enjoyable, that I would like to do more of, and that I would like to have a motorcycle that is ideally suited for, it's this. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just exploring back here. This has all just been one, single straight road. I haven't made any turns or anything, so I'm not getting lost. So here's my question for you. What motorcycle do you think would be ideally suited to this road? Do you think that a scrambler would be enough, like a Triumph Street Scrambler? Or would a Himalayan or another small ADV bike be perfect for this road and this riding? Or do you think that I'm failing... Oh, goodness. Or do you think that I'm failing to appreciate how easy the CRF is making this road for me? Let me know down in the comments below. I know that a off-road chapter of my life as a motorcyclist is coming, and I want to have the best guidance I can and the clearest vision I can before I start investing time and money in that. How's it going? Wow, well, I ended up making it to what appears to be the top of a mountain, or maybe a saddle in between two mountain peaks. There's a four-way intersection here, and not having a map or cell signal or another person with me or anyone who knew that I was coming here today, I'm not going to run the risk of getting lost by taking one of these unknown directions. I'm going to go back the way I came. But for those of you who stuck around, the Real Van fam, I'm going to hit you guys with a little drone montage. Enjoy. See you next time.